light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up, go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated, sucker free, we got the seats heated, hot, let's face it, you bout to get a beat down, less talking, let's take it to the streets now, ain't gonna be no rematch, why you wanna fight, touchdown on sight, yeah, turn off the light, oh, turn off the light, let's get it poppin', go dumb. When you see me moving, bodies dropping. Move some. I'm about to go sick, call Earl. I'm turning up like E40, not your average girl. I'm turning up. We can rock like Rocky, make you tap it. Ghost ride the whip, look at my drip. This ain't a copy. We got a night if you wanna throw hands. When they see me fight, they wanna throw bands. Go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up.
It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros, it's your boy Dave in the 702 coming back at you for that Monday boxing recap known as the Shoe Shine. All right, guys, hopefully you guys know the drill. I talked to Drew a little bit a while ago. He's not feeling that great. Neither am I, to be honest. Incidentally, both of us said we had something funny to eat, so we'll see if Drew drops by. Good to see everybody in the chat. Appreciate AC Walker first in the building. Great to see you. What's good with you, man? Well, guys, it was a pretty fun, epic, and historic weekend in the sport of boxing because we got a brand new champion. And thank you to all of you who watched my video, the one I posted. It was an interview that I did, not even on YouTube, guys. It was pretty much when Drew Evo and I launched our podcast 6 years ago. I got a chance to interview immediately after his pro debut, young Xander Zayas. At the time, I believe Xander was only 17. He was one of the youngest people. He's the youngest athlete to be signed by Top Rank Boxing out of Las Vegas at the age of 16. Got to meet him after his pro debut in Reno, Nevada. And 6 years later, he's now the world champion, the youngest world champion. That's not even, my apologies, I got the wrong fighter up right now. But shout out to Emiliano Vargas of the Vargas dynasty and the Vargas family, who opened up the Top Rank card with an incredible knockout in just less than 30 seconds. Great to see Urban NV. Saludos to Sarah. And please go and subscribe to her channel. Everyone who's watching this, Urban NV, one of the best channels in Las Vegas for streaming content. Great to see you. Good to see that SS Spider. So I have Emiliano Vargas, 21 years old, out of Las Vegas, Nevada. The son of legendary Fernando Ferros Vargas. 3 sons, all professionals. Emiliano being the only one signed to the big one, to Top Rank. All of them are undefeated, though. But he gets this knockout done in less than 30 seconds to open up the ESPN televised broadcast. Why is it so important? Because this was the very last time we will see Top Rank Boxing on American cable television, which most people have basic cable, or most people did have basic cable. I know a lot of people don't even fucking watch TV anymore, right? Guys, we get most of our content from streaming services or YouTube, but the majority of boxing fans that came about in the 80s and 90s, 2000s, 2010s, all the hardcores, we got to watch TV. We got to watch boxing on free television. That era is now over. Now having a very difficult time trying to foresee where this channel, my channel, goes from here, because boxing is at an all-time low in the United States as far as popularity. If you had the ESPN app, if you paid for ESPN Plus, the streaming subscription service, you had to go it was buried in the app to find the boxing content. It wasn't even on like the beginning front page of the app. It was buried under there. That's how little they thought of boxing. And now that relationship with Bob Arum and Top Rank is completely dissolved. We will not be able to see young rising prospects like Emiliano Vargas on free cable television, something that, his father, Oscar De La Hoya, and many of the great fighters of the early 2000s that we grew up watching were able to become stars, American stars, American professional athlete stars because of their exposure on free television. So I'm really I'm really confused as to where these promoters, American promoters, and even foreign promoters, where they're going to go from here in order to develop young talent like this into becoming the household names that boxers used to be. You know, if you guys have any idea where Top Rank is going, your guess is as good as mine. I've heard some great interviews with Bob Arum this week. He says he's working on something and pretty much he will be coming back to regular TV. He's got something in the lines where he may be on multiple sources, kind of indicating that maybe he might get picked up by Prime or some streaming service like DAZN. There's Netflix. That would be incredible, but I don't know. He's saying that he's going to get picked up by a couple of things potentially, including potentially a television deal. But for now, that's it. That's it. Great to see you, SB. I appreciate you guys being here. Very sad state of affairs if you are a diehard boxing fan like I am. We're just 6 weeks away from the greatest boxing event of 2025, the very first of its kind stadium fight with Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford, two of the greatest fighters of our generation. And all I can read about is that Las Vegas is crumbling. Now, I live here now, guys, and so my experience with the city of Las Vegas has completely been transformed. It's absolutely true that once you become a local, going to the Strip becomes something, in my case, where I try to stay away from the Strip as much as possible. If I have something I see or I want to do or go to a certain restaurant, at best, you're only at 43 hours of free parking, which I think is ridiculous. Takes you about a good half an hour to go from your car to the parking lot. So you eat up a whole hour there, and then you're expected to sit down at a restaurant, finish your meal, wrap that all up. I mean, to avoid parking, right? 3 hours isn't enough. And some of the casinos, like Caesars, they don't even offer free fucking parking to locals, which is very upsetting, excuse my language, because there's a lot of fun things to do at Caesars properties. So you find yourself trying to find free parking on the Strip. Where can I park? Okay, fine, Treasure Island for a few hours. The Strip is hurting right now. It's hurting. I'm talking to people on the Strip, employees that make a good living wage that includes tips. Tips are way down. International tourism is way down. And it looks like the American consumer has said, hey, it's getting really expensive to come to Las Vegas. We start to tally up everything that the hotels are imposing, the casinos are imposing on you, the resort fees, the $26 cocktails, the $16 water bottles. It's not cheap to come to Vegas anymore. When I didn't live here, my wife and I, 3-4 times was our 3 or 4 visits a year was our average. Like, we just couldn't wait to come back to Vegas. With that Canelo Alvarez fight, that's probably the biggest event that Las Vegas is going to host sports-wise, next to what they did earlier in the year with WrestleMania, you know? And now we have, is it going to save the city of Las Vegas? I don't know. Great to see you, Veronica. Appreciate you being in here. Yeah, definitely hit that like, guys. So currently Vegas, August, it's hot. Thankfully, it's not as hot as usually, but it's pretty slow. And it's going to be a slow month for the rest of August until we get into September, when those final 2 weeks as we prepare for Mexican Independence Day. And hopefully boxing saves Las Vegas. Not only that, hopefully the Las Vegas Raiders are going to have a great season under the tutelage of a brand new coach, Pete Carroll. They got a lot of new weapons, an amazing looking rookie running back. Hopefully things will turn around. But I mean, you guys have probably seen it just like I have, that the city is starting to hurt as far as hotel occupancy. Yeah, people just want to spend their money elsewhere, I guess. It's hard, guys. I feel you guys. I understand completely. I had a good friend who was supposed to come with us to the Cinco de Mayo Inoue fight. Started to look at what it cost. Was like, you know what? I'm going to save my money for that Canelo fight. If I'm going to spend any kind of money, I'm going to need to save my money to see Canelo versus Crawford. Totally understand. But see, thankfully, that's one of the great things about living here locally, too. By the way, guys, I'm not sure what's going on in the country, but people are going nuts. Not too far from where I live, there was a double shooting. I've told you guys this. There was a double shooting in Las Vegas. Some type of domestic violence just miles from where I live. Seems like this. I've never seen a city with more domestic violence issues than Las Vegas, and it's not even funny. 2 people were shot, unfortunately. And if you guys seen it in the news, there's some mass shooting in New York City, and there was a mass shooting at a casino in Reno, Nevada that I absolutely love, the Grand Sierra Resort. Unbelievable, guys. People are going nuts, which is why every Saturday, every Friday that there's boxing available, I look to the sport of boxing as my personal escape, guys. Let me take it back really quickly. Good to see you, Wile E. Coyote. Appreciate you, because the last time I was on the air, I kept talking to you guys about that there was a fight on Golden Boy last week. And I didn't agree with the outcome of this fight. See, I had my pictures here thinking Drew was going to show up. Gucci Flores of the Coachella Valley, fantastic trainer, Antonio Diaz. He's become kind of a local in the Indio area, Indio, California. He can sell tickets. He's been doing great shows. He does have 1 loss on his record. And I have to tell you that he did not win this fight. And that is my personal opinion. I very much enjoy watching him fight. Chavez from Tijuana, who now works and trains out of California himself, I thought schooled the heavy favorite Gucci Flores on Thursday night on Golden Boy. But there is a kid on that card. What is his name? Oh my God, I forgot the kid's name. Is it Kenneth? Golden Boy Boxing? Let me look. This kid looks incredible as a welterweight. Is his name Kenneth? Anybody catch that guy with that brutal body shot? Oh, I don't have that one right. There's a kid on that new Golden Boy roster at welterweight that had the most incredible body shot. Guys, he hits thunderously. He has speed. He has combinations. I just don't know where Golden Boy just recently signed him. But if anybody you should look for is that guy. And his name is not Kenneth. I apologize, guys. Kenneth Sims Jr. is fighting this weekend from Golden Boy. He'll be fighting Oscar Duarte. That is the big fight of the weekend. So if anybody in the chat knows who I'm talking about, I was extremely impressed. Great to see everybody. I appreciate you guys. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just reading the chat and catching up, guys. Yeah, a lot of sadness in the world, and I don't know what we can do. I honestly don't know what we can do, but I can appreciate you guys for being here, guys. Some pretty big news as far as the channel is going. We are going to resume football talk early. We're going to start this week. In fact, Drew said he was going to come on tonight. If he does, we'll talk to you a little bit more about that. But we're going to get it right into preseason football right now, because not only is my team in camp, everybody's team is in camp. And right now we're getting a really good look at some of these first-round draft picks. The 49ers got one. Drew, obviously he was very excited coming off that NFL championship. So we will resume football talk this week. As boxing slows down, we'll get more into football talk this week because I, for one, can't wait for football season. All right, guys, going back quickly, let's talk quickly about this fight here. Emiliano Vargas on Saturday opened up the event on ESPN, regular ESPN, and gets rid of his opponent from South America in less than 30 seconds with what they say was a perfectly placed pull counter move. A pull counter. He hits him with the right hand. There was a delayed reaction from the South American fighter that made me I'm not going to lie, I went right away to Twitter to see what Boxing Twitter was saying, guys. And the majority of people said another taxi driver, which is disrespectful, guys. I don't like to call people taxi. Who knows what people do for a living to make ends meet as boxers? Because a lot of boxers have to make ends meet. They've got day jobs. But you saw it. Uber driver, taxi driver, sous chef. This knockout did look kind of funny. And when I say it looked kind of funny and suspicious, there was a delayed reaction. It was a very nice pull right hand counter, guys. It was very nice. But it's almost like he gave himself enough time for fans to envision that he was told to stay down. That he was told to stay down. Stay down. If you get hit, stay down. It looked kind of funny, guys. But who's to say? Who's to say? There's funny bit. The business of boxing is quite funny. What I can say, guys, is that his career, Emiliano Vargas' career, is moving at lightning speed. Drew's going to get ready to join us. All right, let me add him. Drew, good to see you. Let me get rid of one of these extra cameras here. Go away, camera. Good to have you, Drew.
Hey.
You all right? Can you? Your mic working?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I was just talking about, I'm trying to get rid of this extra camera here, guys. Let me see here, guys. Give me a second to try to fix this one camera and add Drew here. All right, our names are turned around, but that's fine, Drew. That's as good as it's going to get. Thank you guys for understanding what's going on here. Drew, I was just talking about Emiliano Vargas. That knockout was in 30 seconds. It looked kind of funny, but let's talk about the level of opponents right now. Right now, one thing that I can say is that his father has vehemently said, I'm talking about Fernando Vargas, has said that he does not want to rush his son's career in the manner his personal career was rushed. By the age of 21, 22, Fernando Vargas had already fought some of the greatest fighters of his generation. And Emiliano has not yet, right? Emiliano thinks that he, according to what I read today on Boxing Scene, he is 3 to 4 fights away from fighting for a world title. I think that's entirely possible. But are those 3 fights going to prepare him? Is that going to be enough to prepare him for what is arguably one of the most talent-rich divisions in all of boxing? You got guys that could potentially, in that time, even be fighting at 140. I'm talking like stars like Shakur Stevenson could eventually. Like, it's not going to be easy. And matching him up, in my personal opinion, with opponents that look the way they have, you know, I feel like it could be a disservice. It could be the opposite of how they brought up Xander Zayas, where every fight looked like it was increasingly challenging. And they were able to pull it off successfully, Drew. One of the biggest flops Top Rank recently had, 16-0, 16 knockouts, Edgar Berlanga. Then they stepped them up. Is Top Rank moving Emiliano Vargas, in your opinion, at the right speed? Or is it going to be a detriment when he finally gets to that world-class level? Why you give me your opinion? I'm going to pull up these rankings for 140.
Yeah, I think he needs to start fighting against bigger names now. And, like, there's no reason why not to give him those bigger fights now, because if you're saying he's going to be ready in 3 to 4 fights, then you want to start stepping up the competition, let him fight former champions, let him fight guys that are in the rankings and everything. He really needs to start fighting these guys, because you don't know if you're wait, let him fight a bunch of tomato cans, and then step him up, and then let him fight. You pay somebody off to give him a title shot. You're doing a disservice to him.
3 to 4 fights, Drew. The WBO is buddies with Bob Arum and Top Rank. So I'm just going to give you guys some of the best names in the WBO top 15. Top 15, because he has not fought. Emiliano Vargas has yet to fight anyone in the top 15. These are some of the names. Very familiar names. Andy Hiraoka of Japan. Jermaine Ortiz, who fought Teofimo Lopez. You got Dalton Smith. You have Arnold Barboza Jr., Liam Paro, Golden Boy's Landolfo Delgado, Isaac Cruz, and number 1 right now is Alfredo Santiago. I'm not even too familiar with him. That's just a WBO. I mean, you go look at the IBF. Even the IBF has Mikael Rivera, Jermaine Ortiz, Kenneth Sims, who's fighting this Saturday, Dalton Smith, Landolfo Delgado, and Liam Paro ranked at number 3. They do not have a number 1 or 2 ranking. Very talented division. Richardson Hitchens is the champion. Gary Antoine Russell, Subriel Matias, and Teofimo Lopez being the champions. Again, Drew, is Top Rank moving him too slow, or do you think they'll ramp it up in these next 3 or 4 fights for him?
Too slow.
Too slow. All right. Well, 21.
They got to start stepping it up with him, because he's not getting rounds. Number 1, he's not getting the rounds. So question would be stamina.
5 rounds, Drew. Great point. He's gotten 5 rounds of action in the last 3 fights, which kind of was like that problem with Edgar Berlanga, that he was like, holy shit, this guy's got 16 knockouts in a row, and some of these fights have only gone 1 round. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable.
I think it's a bad speed. They're doing the same thing to Richard Torres and everything. So if you're doing that to Richard Torres and you're doing that to August, you're not really going to have success.
Again, he's 21. I'll play devil's advocate. He's 21 years old. Xander Zayas becomes the youngest current champion in Vala boxing. I put it in there. He made history. That's just a year. Well, actually, it said he's 22 and 330 days in, so he's almost he should almost be 23. But he does take place now as the youngest champion in the sport of boxing, beating Gabriela Fundora by just a hair. She's also, I think, 22. If Emiliano Vargas wants to become world champion, shout out to Dala. If he wants to become world champion, 22, 23 is a fine age. He could do it. But those next 3-4 fights are going to have to get him the likes of a top 15 opponent. And there are some names in here in the top 15 that I could see him beating. Maybe Mikel Rivera, who does not hit hard. Ju Young Kim, a Korean fighter. There's some names. Steve Claggett, believe it or not, ranked 12. A ranked 12 fighter by the WBC. So I expect to see a top 15 fighter, hopefully, wherever Emiliano lands. Shout out to Dala. How's Dala doing?
What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? I got you.
All right, guys. In the co-main event, another fighter that's very interesting to me, Shushu Carrington, Bruce Carrington of New York, goes the distance against an African fighter we were very unfamiliar with, becomes a WBC interim champ now. He thinks he's ready for the top dogs at 126. Some of the guys at top dogs, let's just talk about those champions, guys. He says he's ready. Shout out to Mo Boxing, no problem for the graphic. Rafael Espinoza, 6'1". He says he's ready. This is an in-house fight, Drew. Again, but he's not the WBC champ, so you can't really force this fight. But this is in-house. Is Bruce Carrington ready for any of the top featherweights, guys? Let me give you guys a reminder of some of the championships, the landscape of the 126-pound division. You got the incredible wrecking machine, Nick Ball, who's beat some very talented fighters. Nick Ball of the UK, very short, but a tiny little powerhouse. You got Rafael Espinoza, who fought on that Cinco de Mayo card with Inoue that I got to watch. He's a potential opponent, potentially someday, to Inoue when Inoue is ready to move up to 126. Also an in-house fight. You know, this is the in-house fight I was talking about. Nick Ball, not necessarily. That's a UK fight. It would be very, very interesting. And then you have another fight. Let me make sure I got him here. Also has I believe he has a co-promotional. Let me see here. Drew, the featherweight champions, Angelo Leo, also another featherweight champion. Is Shushu Carrington ready for any of them, including Stephen Fulton? Because he does have the WBC title, as Ray Vargas is a champion in recess. I don't think he ever comes back to 126. I don't know where he went. But you got Stephen Fulton, Nick Ball, Angelo Leo, Rafael Espinoza. I believe he just picked up an interim title. Do you see him ready to beat any of those world champions?
Probably gonna need another fight.
What's that?
Probably gonna need another fight.
Probably going to need another fight. I agree with you. He has had some pretty interesting knockouts against lesser opponents, but he's not knocking out Angelo Leo. He's not knocking out Nick Ball. Nick Ball is like the craziest pressure fighter. Stephen Fulton looks very complete and very comfortable now at featherweight. And Rafael Espinoza, really, bro? You really want that smoke in-house? Like, I applaud you for that. These are some of the fighters he could fight. Bruce Carrington, he's up there in position now to fight Nick Ball, but oh man, I don't know. I don't know who would be a good fight for him, to be honest. If you guys have, Yoet Gonzalez just fought, it's coming off a loss, but I think he's with PBC. I don't like, there's Robeisy Ramirez, incredible fighter. If you could get through Robeisy Ramirez, you make a strong claim that you can potentially upset Rafael Espinoza. So that is one person that's interesting. I just don't see he's ready yet, Drew, and I don't see that he has that killer instinct at featherweight, but he could be a good opponent to any of them. And he won. I mean, he looked pretty good boxing, but he wasn't able to hurt his opponent at any time. So I don't know. What did you guys think? Let me know in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, do you think Bruce Carrington is ready? Tonight's going to be a very short show, right, Drew? I agreed. We're not going to go for much longer. We're going to come back on Wednesday, and we're going to do some football talk, preseason football, and the boxing match that's coming up this weekend. Let's get into the main event, Drew. I'm talking about none other than Xander Zayas becomes the youngest champion, 22 years old, Puerto Rican. It's not been a good month for Puerto Rican fighters. We've had some pretty... Amanda Serrano did not win. Edgar Berlanga, who was very friendly back in the day with Xander, embarrassed. This was a good win for Puerto Rico, the island, man. It's been the win that, and honestly, you look back at that first interview, and we talked about how he wanted to model his career and some of these former great legends of Puerto Rican fighting. He did it. He's done it. I don't know when I'm going to talk to another fighter that's 1-0 and is going to eventually become world champion. I don't know when that's going to happen. I'm honored for that to have happened. But he picks up the WBO title, was vacant. The guy he fought, Garcia, I don't know how he beat Conwell. He looked like ass. He looked like complete ass on Saturday. Yeah, I tweeted that he looked like he had a bunch of tequila. That performance he had against Conwell was so unorthodox, herky-jerky. His pressure was strong. I don't know how he beat Charles Conwell, what was going on with Charles Conwell physically or mentally that night, but that is not the same guy that showed up to fight on Saturday. So good to see you, Mom Food. Great to see Mom Food. Everybody make sure you subscribe to Mom Food Plant and Things. She does these great late night lives. Very creative person. I'm honored to have you in the chat tonight, guys. We're talking about Xander Zayas, 22 years old. I got to meet him when he was only 17 and fighting in his first professional fight in Reno, Nevada, and now the journey comes full swing. It's about how long Drew and I have been doing this podcast. It's 6 years, and here we are 6 years later. He fulfills his dreams, his destiny, the same way he said he was going to do in the interview I posted on my channel on Friday. He said he was going to do it. It's become a reality. He thanked his mom. He didn't have an easy opponent. It was for a vacant title, but the guy he did beat Charles Conwell. Drew, your thoughts on the performance by Xander? What'd you think?
He boxed well, but a lot of people are going to say, oh, he held a lot. He held a lot.
Oh, the clinching?
I'm going to say this right now. If you are boxing, and yeah, I can understand the clinching, but half the time that dude Garcia was not doing anything before he clinched. So you can keep saying it, but it's a stupid argument. He outboxed the dude beautifully. So, I think it's a good boxing fight. He outboxed him. He won a title. He did what he had to do to win the fight.
And on television, guys, he won this title on television in Madison Square Gardens, perhaps the most iconic venue for Puerto Rican fighters. So many great fighters have emerged out of there. Miguel Cotto became a superstar in the exact same venue. And now Xander Zayas has that WBO title, which puts him in the conversation with people like Sebastian, the towering Inferno Fundora, who just fought the week before. You have Virgil Ortiz as the WBC interim title holder. You got Terrence Crawford. Well, actually, I believe that belt's already been abandoned. So Yoenis Tellez is most likely going to be the WBA super champion. And, of course, Bakram Murtazaliev, who destroyed Tim Tszyu. And I hear Tim Tszyu's doing much better, guys. Shout out to Tim Tszyu and his team. Those are some heavy, heavy, talented fighters. Jesus Ramos Jr. ranked number 2. by the WBA and WBC. I tweeted immediately after the fight. I said, congratulations. I can't wait to see you fight Jesus Ramos Jr. and Virgil Ortiz. Now, what does that mean, guys? The Puerto Rican-Mexico rivalry is alive and well. And these young, talented fighters, the ones that I just mentioned, first of all, Xander beat a Mexican fighter from Los Mochis, Sinaloa, the kind of Mexican pressure fighter nobody wants to face. You know, herky-jerky, awkward style, relentless pressure. And he outboxed him. No, he could not really hurt him. That I saw that was where I felt like, okay, he's really, really hurt. He's got him. He's in potential for a knockout here. But he was able to box beautifully. And he said he won this fight with the jab and the jab alone. But now at 22 years old, he's probably going to get an opportunity to defend his title against a mandatory, not a mandatory, but, you know, an elective fight. Top 15 fighters. Tons of talent in this division. Again, one of the most talented divisions, period. You got fighters coming off a loss like Vladimir Hernandez on Pro Box. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say I'd put him in the ring. Nikita Tszyu, ranked 15 by the WBO. Yeah, Xander has not yet. And Jesus is ranked number 7 by the WBO. Would be an amazing fight. Charles Conwell moved down to 10 spot by the WBO. Calum Walsh. That could be a very good fight that Xander could do. Calum Walsh, Nikita Tszyu. These are fights where I heavily favor young Xander to defend that title and beat them. A lot of people talking about should he fight Israel Madrimov. I saw that Israel Madrimov is recovering from an injury. That's a very tough fight, considering he is a former world champion. I would absolutely say that Serhii Bohacek, oh my God. Serhii Bohacek versus Virgil Ortiz was the best fight I've seen in Las Vegas since I moved here. A very dangerous fight and a very credible opponent in Serhii Bohacek, somebody that could potentially play upset if you're not ready for that type of fighter. Perhaps I would say that's not a fight that I'd be interested in. But here are some other players in the WBO, now that Drew is back. Let's talk about it, Drew. Today, I found out Jaron Ennis extended his contract with Matchroom Boxing and Eddie Hearn, and there's already talks about having the number 4 WBO ranked. He is ranked already at 154 pounds. Jaron Ennis versus Josh Kelly of the UK on Matchroom Boxing will be his most potentially going to be his next fight in the winter.
And it's going to be an eliminator.
It's going to be an eliminator. I'm so excited about that.
Eliminator.
I love it, man. I love this fight. Jaron Ennis, 34-0 versus 17-1. Josh Kelly for the WBO eliminator. An opportunity to fight Xander Zayas. But Xander Zayas is going to have to stay busy. That's why I say he's going to have to find somebody in the top 15. There's a few names here, guys, that I have never seen fight. Milian Prat, Julian Vogel, Adrian Sasso. If I haven't seen them fight, I'm probably going to say that they're not a serious, credible threat to upset Xander Zayas. So I would elect any of those guys, including Calum Walsh and Nikita Tszyu, who's got the Tszyu last name. I mean, that's a great name. Ironically, Tim Tszyu is not ranked in the top 15, and I'm not sure what direction. Keith Thurman is ranked. Would Top Rank and PBC be willing to work together now that they don't have that? Top Rank is not with ESPN. Is it something the fans would want to see? Is Keith Thurman and his hairline a threat to the young Xander Zayas?
Potentially. But here's the thing. Number one.
It's a big name. Keith one-time Thurman.
I'm sorry, but people are saying that Xander, the way Xander fought was he was running. I'm going to say this right now. That kid was in front of him the whole fucking time and using the ring and everything and was landing punches. Like, he's not like Devin Haney or anything. I think it's a horrible fucking take. if you can't call that boxing, you're a fucking idiot and shouldn't be watching the sport. I'm sorry, but taking away from that kid's accomplishment of the way he fought, the way he boxed, you want him to take shots. I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to take 5 shots and get my 5 shots back. No. He's more of... He showed that he's more of a boxer. And to a point that Keith Thurman, let's look at it like this. Mario Barrios is a bum. Let's look at it like that. Keith Thurman was able to capitalize on a bum. And, Keith Thurman, like, Boots Ennis wanted to fight Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman didn't want to fight him at 147. And Sean Porter didn't want to be a gatekeeper. So, I think people that are saying that he's a threat based off his name, half of them probably never even see the lights of Josh Kelly fight. And tell you the truth, they're idiots. They're low IQ. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They really need to fucking get their eyes checked when it comes to Xander and everything, because seriously, you need to know boxing. You need to know what boxing is. If you want to question that type of shit, you don't know boxing. You shouldn't be talking about boxing.
Drew,
you should be shutting the fuck up. Stand in line. Keep your place and go fuck yourself.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
I'm sorry, Dave, but I'm tired of
it's a lot of F-bombs.
I'm tired of people thinking they know what boxing is and everything. If you want to see that type of fighting, all the time, go fucking watch bare knuckle fighting.
Drew, I was just thinking, how can we grow the show to where people are actually going to buy a membership and become members of this channel? I just thought, how many people would like to take a class with Drew Evo, where Drew Evo teaches boxing to all the people who don't know shit? Exclusive classes, exclusive membership only streams. Drew Evo will fix that. He'll fix it.
I don't think I would fix some of these motherfuckers because they're just low IQ.
Oh man, that's a common word thrown around here. But $2.99, we need to figure something out, Drew. How to get a membership thing going here. Great to see everyone in here. I'm just pitching ideas. All right, Drew, he wins it. It's the first time ever that we have spoken to a prospect who eventually became a world champion. How many other in our back catalog may achieve that? I don't know. Again, I better start talking to a lot more prospects and fishing them out, because meeting Xander after his pro debut and interviewing him and following his career, 6 years on the podcast, I don't know if it's ever going to happen again. I look forward to where Top Rank is going with their whole, it's a big business here in Las Vegas. Where are they going to go? Where are they going to land? And soon, because none of these fighters have a date that I know of in August, as we eagerly await where Top Rank Boxing, one of the top boxing promoters in America, lands. Well, Drew, it wasn't just all about Xander Zayas this weekend. Women's boxing was back in the news. Clarissa Shields, unbelievable. I'm reading she sold, 16,000 people in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, attended. Clarissa Shields defends her undisputed heavyweight title against a woman from New Zealand with the scores of 100 to 90, 99 to 91 twice. I guess two judges thought her opponent won at least one round. I've never seen Lonnie Daniels fight, but I saw that she really frustrated Clarissa Shields with her movement early. And they say, why wasn't Clarissa cutting off the ring? I have serious doubts about where Clarissa goes from here as a heavyweight boxer. I ain't gonna body shame her or nothing, but a lot of Twitter was body shaming her physique as a heavyweight. This may not be the most ideal weight class for her. Personally, she doesn't look like she has the stamina. And she does not have competition at heavyweight, which is why she has been trying to get 47-year-old Layla Ali to come out of retirement. She claims that she has procured $15 million to pull her out of retirement. She's proven she could sell, what I just say, 16,000 seats. Do we want to see Layla Ali, 47-year-old woman, come out of retirement?
Yeah, look at it like this, Dave. How many of those tickets were given, and how much are the prices of those tickets? Because I think you'll be an idiot to buy a ticket over $200 to go see her.
That's a lot of money.
Here's the thing. I think they gave some of those tickets away. Now, I think
Could be.
Probably the prices are cheap and everything. But let's look at it like this. Clarissa Shields wants to pull Jake Paul. And she's like, because she used to say, oh, Jake Paul can do it, why can I do it? No, because you are an actual professional fighter that's trying to claim that she's the best of all, greatest of all time. And you're not even close to it. It's like, here's the thing. The biggest thing that she did wrong, that was wrong for business, was to announce that you are a promotional free agent. Because now, from what I'm hearing, she went and said to other promoters that are interested in signing her, that I want a fight purse of a minimum of $750,000 a fight, which we don't know how she got $1 million. So the event lost money because she made too much. She got overpaid, and if you look at it, I really think this was a move by Layla Ali to make Clarissa sound desperate, look bad, and it worked. That you are that desperate to try to fight a retired fighter instead of moving down in weight to fight competition.
Okay. Drew, we just saw Savannah Marshall lose, and Clarissa Shields announced that this is her last fight with Salida Promotions. She is now an independent free agent. She can put on her own shows. She can apply for a promoter's license. Or she could try to join forces with Jake Paul, who's done incredible things for women's boxing, who has brought women's boxing to Netflix, to everybody who got Netflix. 6 million people plus watched the most recent all-women's boxing card on Netflix. I, for one, if I was advising Clarissa, maybe her rapper boyfriend, fiance could say, you got to try to get on that Netflix, even if it's a one-fight deal with Jake Paul, and get yourself on Netflix. If you can fill a theater or a stadium with 16,000 people and be on Netflix for free at the same time, you might want to move down in weight because, again, there isn't any competition. I don't know who she would fight at super middleweight, though, Drew. You and I talked about what's that Green, who just beat upset Savannah Marshall. You said they've already fought. I forgot about that one. I know she beat the heavy-hitting Diva, that she was also a champion at 168. And, well, has she fought Savannah Marshall as a pro?
Franchon Cruz wants a rematch.
Franchon she beat easily, right? But are these rematches worthy of being a Netflix headliner?
Well, here's the thing. She was there, and I guess they're going to do a face-off, and Clarissa declined it. And while I'm going there, if I know if a fight's not, why am I going to do a face-off if you're not going to fight me? So Clarissa tried to clear her name and everything. So I'm going to look at it like this. Clarissa Shields has to move down a weight. She is not good at this weight. She's fighting she fought a girl that just got out off her shift at Sam's Club.
Oh, damn.
And everything. And
is that true?
Probably was. The way
she was. Sam's Club. She lives in New Zealand. Do they even have Sam's Club in New Zealand?
But if you look at it, she does not have stamina at this weight.
Right.
She's out of shape at this weight. I don't think she did a lot of training and weight training to lose weight, to be fit to fight at this weight. And like you look at it like this, nobody's gonna really think that you're a goat. You're not a goat. You're not close to it. You're not even that much of a draw outside of Detroit or wherever you're at, Flint, Michigan. And if you look at it, you're at these promoters' mercy because what happens if they tell you, yo, this is what you got to do. If you want to deal with us, you got to fight 160. You got to fight between 154 and 160. Because you're telling me you want to fight, you want to bring Michaela Mayer up. You can bring her up to 154, and you can come down to 154 and fight her, and everything at 160. But to look at it like this, there's no reason to promote you if you don't go down in weight. And I think a couple of people that she partly reached out to told her, you're no use to us unless you move down in weight. Like,
yeah, well, I don't know what to do because if Layla Ali doesn't want to come out of retirement, there really is no serious threats at heavyweight, and it just becomes an exercise. It just becomes theater. What's the point in watching your heavyweight matchups when your advantage is just gross? I mean, it's not even worth the sports book's time and energy. That being said, I got a couple of news items I wanted to bring up, Drew. I know you wanted to get off early today. We will be back with football talk this week, Wednesday, talking about it already. This story really bothers me, Drew. Galalia Fai just recently got his ass whooped by Francisco Rodriguez. This gentleman was moving up in weight, went to the UK, and put a beat down. And this was for an interim title. Now, I already discussed it, Drew. He popped for a drug. He popped for a PED that gives you incredible stamina and feeds all kinds of energy to your muscles. Well, it turns out that he was already caught doping in December and had yet to be disciplined for that December fight. And it looks like potentially, this is all bad. It looks like both promoters knew that he had been popped dirty and been waiting. He pops dirty for 2 fights in a row. This fight falls under the sanctioning government of the British Board of Boxing Control. Knowing what I know now, they still haven't made this officially a no contest. The WBC is saying some other bullshit. It's still not a no contest on BoxRec. It needs to be overturned immediately, and the suspension needs to be serious because for real, being on this PED, he put a beat down. They're talking about, let's run it back. No. I don't know why anybody wants to run it back with a drug cheat. When Devin Haney got his ass whooped, I was one of the few people saying, what's the point in running it back with Ryan Garcia? He's a dirty fighter. Yeah, what's the point? I don't care. Like it's going to be any different whether he was clean or not anyways. But why give somebody a rematch if they came into the first one dirty? You already know they're cheap. But that's my opinion, guys. What do you guys think? This fighter has been busted 2 times at 2 fights in a row and was allowed to fight, and he seriously hurt Galalia Fai, upsetting, putting a wrench in the career of Galalia Fai. I, for one, would not revisit that fight. Let this guy get punished, and that's that. That's it for boxing, Drew. As far as being on national television, your thoughts on no more boxing on American TV?
it's the start of an end of the American boxing.
Oh, shit. And it's more popular than ever in the UK and across other countries. That's what's bothering me. It's wild.
You can blame the fans mostly for that.
Well, guys, if you are in Chicago this Saturday, it's Golden Boy Boxing returns on DAZN. Last I remember, I don't know, I may think about resubscribing to DAZN. What is it, $20 a month? If you want to watch boxing every single weekend, you could do so on DAZN. It's fight week. Oscar Duarte, who's moved up in weight to 140. I'm not sure why he didn't give Ryan Garcia a better fight. These two fighters are some of the best fighters that Oscar has in his stable, and he's going to make them fight. And I think this is actually going to be a freaking incredible fight Saturday. I really think so. There was some few moments Oscar Duarte against Ryan Garcia showed the potential of Oscar Duarte, but I don't know if he was starstruck, but he did not fight his fight. Very few moments in that fight did he fight his fight. And if you look at that triangle theory, I think Oscar Duarte beats Raleigh Romero. I just do. If they were to fight at 140. Okay? But I don't think, Ryan Garcia beat Raleigh Romero. So there goes the triangle theory. This is going to be a good fight. This is going to be a very good fight. And lastly, guess who else is on that card this weekend? Regis Prograis. He retired. Regis Prograis said he got more fights. Co-main event. Jojo Diaz Jr. Unbelievable that he still has a deal with Oscar. He lost to Duarte. He's lost so many fights in his past 6 outings. It's not even funny. Then he has a dubious criminal record where he really allegedly did some stuff that was allegedly disgusting. I don't know why Oscar still has him in his stable. But does Regis Prograis have anything left in the tank? He should come out victorious. This fight really is a send-off for 2 fighters who had great careers, and both of them champions, former champions. This is really going to be a send-off fight, Drew. And it brings me to something, Drew, and lastly, I appreciate everybody here, is the fact that Josh Taylor retired. Regis Prograis, he may retire after this fight. One of the best 140-pound fighters in recent memory. Today I read that Jose Ramirez says he ain't retiring. He's moving up to welterweight. It'll be interesting how it goes for all of these fighters. Josh Taylor's already hung him up. And I'll be very interested to see, what happens this weekend if both of these fighters retire after that, or who's still got something left in the tank to go. It's been a good show, guys. I appreciate everybody. Drew Evo and I will be back on Wednesday. We'll be looking at this fight more closely and talking about preseason football. Drew, our 49ers quarterback, shout out to him. Brock Purdy had a baby yesterday, his first baby. It's very interesting.
Probably the only positive thing going to happen this season.
And, it's a great thing. He's introduced to fatherhood, his first baby. At the same time, I just heard that, the number 1 draft pick, Travis Hunter, that his wife is over there on social media crying about their marriage. Boy, they just got married after he got the massive signing bonus.
Should have got a prenup.
No prenup. Travis Hunter, his wife's over there on social media complaining about their marriage. I swear they've been married for 60 days. You got to listen to Drew sometimes. He said, where's the prenup? Thanks a lot, Mom Food SB, for modding. I appreciate everybody here. We'll be back Wednesday night, late in the evening, 7:30, 8 o'clock, to do some more boxing pre-fight weekend and some NFL talk. Until then, thank you, everybody. We'll see you then. Peace out.